The Ravens Flock presents The Black Files, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
Welcome one and all. Welcome everybody. It's another fine Wednesday evening here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for joining us on this week's episode of the uncensored, uncompromising podcast of the Ravens Flock. Welcome to a brand new episode of The Black Files. Thank you very much for joining in tonight, lads, ladies, everybody in between. I am Juan Arauz, one of the heads of the Ravens Flock and host of The Black Files, host of this uncensored, uncompromising interview, review, deep discussion podcast. Joining me tonight on my on the lower left-hand corner of the screen is the founder of the Ravens Flock and host of our main show, as well as the pro wrestling recap show we've got, Wrestle Rewind, Mr. Jose Casabona. Jose, go ahead, unmute yourself, say hello to everybody on the interwebs.
I just did. How you guys doing? It is February. It is February 2nd. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. And yes, as Juan mentioned, this show is hard. This podcast is hard. We discuss hard-hitting topics. And mind you, folks, these topics are not for the faint of heart.
No, they are not. We want to go ahead and welcome everybody who's on the chat live tonight on our Twitch stream and our YouTube stream. We simulcast, just like we do with all of our shows, on Twitch and YouTube. We've got Vamp Sith. Hello, Vamp Sith. We've got Brittany here from the Popcorn Planet Mod Squad. Hey there, Melf, Make 'em Laugh Studios. Good evening. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for joining in. Vamp Sith, glad I'm catching this. Saw the Tiger at MegaCon, got weird, really weird vibes, and Melf as well. Awesome. So we've got folks who know each other out both inside and outside of the Florida convention scene. And
good. We need more eyeballs on this.
Yes, we do. Thank you for that. Eyes, ears, everybody in between. And yes, we do shout out everybody who watches us here. For those who are new to the Black Files, for those of you who are new to our to the way we do this, if you know the Ravens Flock, you know that we discuss we discuss social issues in the con community. This is blurry. There we go. Much better. We discuss topics that are relevant to the con community. We also try to keep things a little lighter on our main show. But here on the Black Files, we grant you access to the darker issues. We grant you access to long-term topics and discussions that we try to have. Stuff that we usually don't get into very much in depth on the main show, but we, like I said, we try to do it the best we can on this show. That's why it's uncompromising, uncensored. It's not for children. You'll notice that none of our programs are for kids. It's very much for mature audiences because we do use explicit language, because people are expressive. Fuck
well, yeah,
shit,
of course,
bitch.
for crying out loud. Even our Let's Play show, Los Amigos Play, is not for kids.
Yeah, no, for real. It may be video gaming fun over there on Los Amigos Play, which will be returning this Saturday, by the way. But we do, we're very much not. We're very much more for like PG-13 freaking adult audiences because we freaking talk like adults. And like I mentioned here, we are simulcasting live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/theravensflock, and our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/theravensflock online. If you haven't done so yet, or if you haven't done it already, please, we invite you to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell on the lower left-hand side of your screen or wherever you're watching this. We are on our way to 1K, as we like to say. We're halfway to our goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers. And with us celebrating our 10-year anniversary, we want to make this big. We want to go ahead and hit that goal. Anything that you can do helps out. Go ahead and comment. We will discuss with the audience here tonight as we talk about this stuff. And we'll pause and answer any questions that you may have. So if you've got questions or if you want to be part of the discussion, part of the conversation, we may even open up the lines before we wrap up for the night to invite you to join join in. If you wish to actually be on the show, you may do so. We'll go ahead and put the link for that once we get around to that portion of the show. With that said, let's go ahead and get to the nitty gritty here. Obviously, everyone knows from the headline that we're leading here with a very, shall we say, colorful situation here involving a team that is centered around a young 9-year-old child who happens to be autistic, and the main goal of this team is to promote the child's artwork and to put up videos on YouTube as well. And this entire brand, this whole group is called the Autistic Tiger. Now, since we are discussing a mature subject, we're going to go ahead and say this right now. Obviously, number one, we're going to be talking a lot about autism, a lot about folks with who may be on the spectrum. We're going to be discussing this stuff. If it's a sensitive topic to you, go ahead and tune away now. If it's not, we invite you to continue to watch. We're not going to be, number two, at no point in time during this entire program are we directing any sort of shade or blame or fucking, or disparity on any children, especially not this child. We're mainly concerned with how the entire mechanism of the channel and how the brand of this entire thing is centered around this, and whether or not if this could be considered child exploitation. So there's going to be a lot of shit like that. And also, I have to say the disclaimer, and if you haven't figured it out by now, we are not mental health experts. I've got my own mental issues to save my life. I cannot deal with them. I got a doctor to help me with that. If you have mental issues, or if you suspect that you may have mental problems, we ask you, please do not try to consult the Ravens flock. We are a-holes in front of a camera on the internet. We are not medical experts of any kind. Don't say...
No, we are not. Do not ask us for counsel. Do not ask us for our insight. The only thing you can ask us is our opinions.
Our opinions, our takes, our own thing. As a friend of ours, Steph the Alter Nerd, would like to say, it's my opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever. All right? It's purely us, purely talk, purely discussion. We're trying to figure that shit out. So please, refer to mental health experts, psychologists, therapists, psychiatrists, nurse practitioner, whatever. Don't.
Yes.
Please. I am not Dr. Juan from TV. I'm not the guy that your abuelita tries to call up at 9 a.m. in the morning on a Friday morning and ask what's going on with this weird wart on the back of her hand. That's not us. Okay? I may be the Juan Show, but I am not Dr. Juan. All right? I've got the disclaimers in and out of the way. There, I'm at it. So, okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and discuss this. So I'll set the tone. So 2 weeks
please,
ago...
Jose. You go ahead. You take the lead on this for a bit.
Yeah, no problem. So 2 weeks ago on Saturday, I think it was January
22nd.
18th, January 22nd. Yes, we went to VilliCon for Saturday only. It was a 3-day weekend. VilliCon was held over at the DoubleTree Hotel in front of Universal Orlando over in Orlando, Florida, and it is the second year of the convention, and it's basically built around, as it says, villains.
Villains, very scary, very evil.
Very sci-fi,
very nice, very evil.
Villainous, very nice, very evil. No, seriously, it was a fun con. I think I could speak for the group between myself, Juan, and Angel. We had a lot of fun over there. It was like the dealer's vendor's room was very more art-based. There's definitely for folks who like to purchase like jewelry or any type of like arts and crafts stuff over there, or any type of paintings or whatnot. Like they would get a kick out of that room, and I certainly got away with a couple of items, and so did Angel.
And it was really cool. I liked the convention. I liked the vibe of the people running it. I liked the guest lineup that they had. They had a really good lineup. Yeah, they had a really nice guest lineup. You had Barry Bostwick was there. If you don't know him, he was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, of course. He was the mayor of New York in one of Jose's favorite sitcoms, Spin City, starring Michael J. Fox.
I love it. Yes. before they replaced him with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, no, not Barry Bostwick, Michael J. Fox. They replaced Michael J. Fox with.
Like that.
Yeah. Also, they had two awesome Star Trek actors who were there. From the Next Generation, formerly Lieutenant Tasha Yar, the badass babe who was sadly cut short at the beginning of the first season. Denise Crosby was there. She was very nice. She was very chill. And from Star Trek Voyager, Ensign Harry Kim himself, Garrett Wang, was there. He was really cool, although it seemed like he was like a million miles a minute busy with everybody, just like so easy and so ready to talk to just everybody and anyone out for their mother on anything Trek related or not Trek related. He was just there to have a good time.
Just want to get this silliness out of the way. I still stand by my opinion of his character, Harry Kim. He's that one Starfleet dude that keeps fucking things up.
No, he didn't fuck things up, he's the kid
to wake up one morning and just decided to fuck everything up.
No, he doesn't. You have not been watching Voyager. Are you watching the same show I have been for like up until like 2001, Joe? Were we watching the same show? Because no, Harry Kim had a lot of fucked up things happen to him. That's the thing. He was the one who got like infected by species 8472. Remember? Like, he's not like, oh, I'm going to go in and I'm going to get myself infected. Derp. No, he's not that kind of dude. He was there on an away mission and the fucking alien claws at him and the DNA of it infected him and like it was left with tendrils in his nose and he was still alive and awake through all of it. It was fucked up. All right.
Fair enough. Okay. Fine. I mean, no, this is just me being stupid. Me being stupid on purpose.
Real quick.
Yes. He's a good character who's just dealt a bad hand.
Yeah. No, he had the worst 7-year. He had the worst 7-year-long away mission of all time. He deserved a captaincy at the end of that. Like Lieutenant Commander Commander Harry Kim at the end. Like, dude, you served for 7 years. You can retire if you want. Holy crap. But that being said, no, like Juan said, we had a fun we had a fun experience. It was definitely awesome. Real quick, no, nothing negative to say. Like, we honestly thought that this con had potential. It actually had legs to stand on. Real quick, on the chat, Vamp Sith saying pour one out for VilliCon. Melf saying cheers, and Brittany hitting a pair of champagne glasses there for him. Yeah, the reason why they're saying that, folks, for those of you who don't know, about a week after the convention wrapped up, it was announced by the convention owners that the second year would be the final year for VilliCon. It basically said that it was not going to be as sustainable as they wanted. They believed that there was some sort of sabotage or interference happening. Okay, Jolene is on the chat. Hey, y'all. Hello, Jolene. Welcome to the Black Files.
Hey, Jolene. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, I heard that news, and man, I was so heartbroken. Like, literally right after I was saying good things about the con. Like, we were talking briefly about the con coming back. And then this happens.
No, it's like, it's not even a joke. We really, really wanted to see these folks. We wanted to see this entire convention come back because it deserved a little more of a chance to it. It deserved a chance to actually grow from this infancy. And no, it was just right off the bat. Just like, no, it wasn't happening. Other guests that were there, we had Bastille the Butler, who was a cosplay guest. The Speakeasy Sirens, that's actually going to be, they are a cosplay burlesque troupe. They are incredible folks. They're incredible performers. They're friends to the Ravens flock, so we definitely stand them. We definitely stand by the Speakeasy Sirens, and
absolutely.
Not just because of booby tassels. No.
Remember this. We're going to be bringing them up a little bit later.
Yes, please remember them. They are important. There's also the Gotham Underground cosplay group that was there. As you can imagine, they are a group of DC, specifically Batman villain characters. You had Ozzy J cosplay, who specializes as the Penguin. He was handing out vote for mayor Oswald Cobblepot pins. Ms. Riddlebox cosplay, she plays Lark. She's like his henchman. She's also in real life Ozzy's wife. So shout out to them. Let's see, Harris cosplay, one of my man. Harris cosplay. He cosplays Bane for the Gotham Underground, but he also is very famously well known for cosplaying Maui from Moana. Recently, he just got through getting some eye surgeries done. I hope he's okay. Harris, if you're listening, if you're watching, we're pulling for you here, man. I know that shit's tough, but I had been seeing some of the stuff that you have been on in social media. I'm glad. I hope that you're
all right, man.
Yeah, I hope you're recovering okay, man. You're a good person. There was also Andy Lou cosplay, Yuffie Nori cosplay, friend of mine personally. There was Dr. David cosplay was there. Hanari Solomon, who is an excellent cosplayer, very eclectic lineup on there. Hanari 502 Hanari Solomon does all sorts of different stuff. They do like girl cosplays, guy cosplays, sexy cosplays, not so sexy cosplays, outside of cosplays, all sorts of stuff. Also Sarah Serenity was on there. She does cosplays for The Walking Dead. She is also a friend to the Ravens flock, and Sarah Serenity is an excellent person in her own right. So
in fact, just a little bit of history, a little fact there. Like in our previous episodes, I believe she was the one that suggested VilliCon to us in the first place, like last year, 2021.
Is that right? Y'all know, you're right. You're right. Holy crap! No wonder. Yeah, no, that would make sense.
We didn't know about VilliCon until she mentioned it.
You're right. Holy shit. Hey, you know, how the turns table, I guess. I don't know. On the chat real quick, we got Jolene was saying, and Brittany was saying hi to Jolene, and they were like, yay. Jolene is saying, you guys ever hear of Night Mage cosplay? Night Mage and Ivy Doom Kitty are family friends, great peeps. So actually, I have not heard of Night Mage, but I'm looking him up. He's a badass. I do know of Ivy Doom Kitty.
Ivy Doom Kitty is cool. We've met them. We've met the cosplayer before.
Yeah, so, yeah. We met Ivy Doom Kitty like once upon a time in Hollywood. I don't know. Plenty of other cosplay guests. Peekabell Chew was there. You cannot discount Peekabell under any circumstance. She is a world-renowned ambassador of the Pokemon brand to all of freaking, what do you call it? To all of the world. And she was there in her Pika Repulsa outfit. Like
that was clever.
It is that is so cool. And to this day, Peekabell holds the world record for world's single largest Pikachu memorabilia and merchandise collection in the whole world. Like an actually officially recognized Guinness World Record. So, yeah, she's good people's. And she is also a friend of the Ravens flock. You see, like, we had so many high hopes for what was up with VilliCon. And
because VilliCon actually had a formula that works.
Yeah, no, like
it had a theme.
It had a theme. It had a flavor that was sorely needed. It was a new flavor. You know, it's like the very first time you tasted, I don't know, what's a cool flavor of ice cream, Jose? Like off the top of your head.
Oh, that's a good one. I would have to say, let's say, for example, the first time you've tried chocolate chip cookie dough.
Yeah, see, there you go. Like, it's the very first time you try chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream, and like, it blows your mind. Like, oh my God, there's little pieces on there.
The same argument can be made for pistachio, Juan.
No, it cannot. No, it cannot. Sorry, Jose. You have your preferences. I have mine. I simply must say pistachio ice cream, it don't fly with me. Why is the ice cream itself green? I understand that you got green in the pistachio. That's part of it. But why is the ice cream itself green? Why? Give me a reason. Please, explain it. See, your silence speaks volumes. Also,
I did say something. I said because flavor.
Also, let's see. Brittany's saying, I haven't heard of them. Jolene is saying, and Sonaria Lynn, she's cool. She's a cool gamer chick. We met Sunny back in her assistant to Jason David Frank days when my hub started training with Jason and saying to stand out. And Vamps is saying Night Mage is rad. So yeah, no, definitely I would like to meet these folks. And they're saying they're magic. Awesome. And Jolene's agreeing with them. Awesome. Excellent. See, I like this stuff. We're bringing people together. They haven't met, but they're probably never going to meet in person. But you see, common interest. I like that. All right, so
Of course.
So, putting it simply, one thing that I would say with what is up with the way VilliCon was set up, at least from our observation on it when we were there, almost everything was packed into just the one room, which was like this gigantic banquet hall / dealer's room, like convention room hall, like which is like dead center from your entry into the DoubleTree Hotel in the convention space for it, which is cool, but also at the same time logistically a fucking nightmare. Everyone was there. All of the people, all of the vendors, all the cosplay guests, all the guests, all the celebrity guests. Everyone was crammed in, and they wasn't organized in a way that could be considered not illogical, but like understandable. It was like a whole bunch of rows, like nothing but gigantic columns packed in real fucking tight, but there was no cross section on there. Let me give you an example. Let's say you had a convention at the Tampa Convention Center, and just an example. I don't know. This is the first one that comes to mind is MetroCon, because that's the big convention center in Tampa. When you're in the dealer's room, you have not only columns of rows for vendors, but you have them also split off into different blocks, so you can go through them and go past them to go into other rows, right?
Right.
Right. This didn't have that. It was basically a Kit Kat bar of tables and rows, and there was no way breaking through it. I could not break off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
But nevertheless, we still enjoyed ourselves. I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely. That is That's not even in question. I'm just thinking that logistically, if it were me, it was just very, very, very tightly packed. It seemed like there were more vendors than enough than space in order to actually provide for them. Almost like it was overbooked, if you would.
Something I do want to point out, and that I've never experienced this at a con before, and this is a me and Angel moment. Right,
Angel was with us. I asked him to come with us on the show tonight, but he's
fine,
probably
but
asleep.
let me get to the story. So, out of nowhere, in a vendor room full of artists, full of dealers and all that stuff, we find one random table where there's Girl Scouts selling Girl Scout cookies. This is the first time for me. Never at a con have I ever run into a table where there's Girl Scouts selling Girl Scout cookies.
What are the odds?
So yeah, that was fun. And okay, I guess we're gonna have to fast forward it because following
on the chat,
news,
just very quickly, Vamp Sith was saying, "Oh no, Jolene." So basically, a huge clusterfuck. Yeah, it was a huge clusterfuck. It was very, very tightly packed. I wouldn't have organized it that way, but it's not my convention, not my circus, not my monkeys. I can't speak for that, especially not after the fact, and most especially after it was announced that they went ahead and had to shut down the convention afterwards. Obviously we're not going to litigate that after the fact. And Brittany's saying, yeah, that makes sense. Right. I wish it made sense.
Now getting back to the story, now following the news of VilliCon announcing that it's not going to be coming back for a third year, man, I was torn up when I heard about it. And then Brian Harris, the Bane cosplayer, actually, and this is something I came across on Facebook, on my own personal Facebook. Brian Harris shared a video of
an. You mean Harris Cosplay? Yeah.
Yeah, Harris Cosplay shared a video of a handler, a specific vendor or an artist, however you want, depending on how you look at it. And it's the artist handler is literally titled the Autistic Tiger.
And now we're getting into the meat of the story. Go ahead.
Yeah, we might as well, because God damn it, I want to get into this fucking meat. So, and basically in this video, he has his own channel. I forgot how many subscribers he has.
That's not important.
Yeah, that's not important. But in this case, he posted a video of his take of VilliCon, like his entire weekend of VilliCon, and I saw like it was quickly shot down because basically he was making a lot of disparaging remarks. He was basically shitting on the whole convention in his video, making a lot of statements that are not true, and apparently the guy who was filming it also has a very bad reputation of harassment and basically just nothing but trash talking and trash talking and trash talking. And I'll get to the real juicy part in a bit, but in this video, he basically, it didn't take long for everyone in the convention scene, in the Florida convention scene, to basically just shut down this freaking video, like out him for what the fuck he's doing. And then he switched it over to private, so you can't watch it publicly.
Holy shit. Yeah, no, I remember you telling me.
I got a chance to see the video before that ever happened. So imagine it's 25 minutes. Yes, I clocked it at 25 minutes of him walking up and down the dealer's room with his camera, shitting, like basically trash talking the entire convention experience, the entire convention itself, while also trying to put on a happy-go-lucky face and saying hi to some of the vendors, while also insulting the other vendors over there, the other artists, saying that their stuff isn't good enough to be put on display. And then, oh boy, this is where it gets really good.
So, and just to give one bit of clarification, this is an adult male talking on here, right?
Yes.
It's not the child, because we already established Autistic Tiger is revolving around the 9-year-old child.
You're right. This is the adult. This is his dad.
Yeah, we're like presumably this is the child's father. This is the kid's.
This is the child's father. So just to set the tone,
real quick.
So
I like just giving you a little break to get collect yourself on here, because we got Will Morris is on the chat. Will, my man, he's calling me Don Juancho. Hello there. Welcome to the Black Files. Welcome to the program. Jolene is saying when we were at Steel City Con, they just got taken over by new management, and it was interesting. They had virtual lines, which was cool idea, bad execution. I was in virtual line for 27 hours and then didn't end up meeting Corey Feldman. Had my photo op, but to get it signed, nope. 5 of those 27 hours was waiting in physical line. That's
all right.
Not
let's
cool.
hold off. Yeah, let's hold off on the rest of the comments until after I get this story out, because this is where it gets really.
Okay, go
really
ahead.
All right, and something I do want to point out at the beginning and the end, at the beginning start point and the end point of the video. He starts by filming in front of his child who's doing artwork and basically showing him off, saying like, "Oh, hey, check it out! Check out all the cool art he's doing. You know, say hi." And like him and his wife are there at that table. And then he takes off. And then after he's done walking around and shitting on the convention, the video ends with him going back to the table.
Whoop, hold on.
Thing over again. Saying hi, like having the kid, trying to have the kid say hi while showing off his artwork, and his mom is right over there on the video too. And I've done research on this guy. To this day, I still don't know his actual name, his actual social media handle name, but he has had a history of harassing artists and vendors as well as cosplayers. And he's done nothing but shit talk about the people he doesn't like, while also making a profit out of his child's work.
Yeah, and that's the point. That's the issue that I have with all of this. Like, okay,
that's the issue that I fucking have. Yeah. And there's one other critical element that he pointed out in this video. Apparently, there was an incident on the Friday evening of the Friday night of VilliCon.
I actually wanted to go ahead and cover that, if I may.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Now, folks, if you were following along with us on this, when I said that they had everything in the one room, I wasn't exaggerating on here. Usually when you have different panels or different events happening at a convention, you would try to have multiple panel rooms available. With VilliCon being as small as it was, they decided to host their primary panels on the within the main exhibition hall. So all the way in the far back corner on the far right-hand corner of the dealer's room was a stage setup and seating in front of the stage. Friends of the Ravens Flock, the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, that's a Doctor Who podcast, which, by the way, they are also celebrating their 10-year anniversary, so shout out to them. They were having a discussion panel on that stage in the back of the dealer's room. Very busy, very odd, and very chaotic in that sense. Like I said, if it were up to me, if I had the means, I would have had that stuff in a separate room. Oh my god, that's a fucking clusterfuck. If you folks recall, also we were mentioning that one of the guests were the Speakeasy Sirens of an anime and cosplay burlesque troupe. When it started becoming later in the evening, Friday night, that would be Friday the 21st of January, the convention was hosting a Speakeasy Sirens performance, meaning it was a burlesque performance, meaning that in order to continue being in the dealer's room in the entire place, you had to be 18 or older. You had to, because they were performing, and they were performing adult performances. There were going to be titties with titty tassels. There were going to be dudes in Speedos dancing and dangling and all sorts of sexually provocative stuff, as is the norm, as is per usual in a burlesque show. The problem that Jose is bringing up over here is that the father of Autistic Tiger, we're just going to say the kid's father, was throwing a complaint because the child was not being allowed to stay and watch the burlesque show. I'm known for trying to stick square pegs into round holes when it comes to logic traps, but somebody fucking explain to me where any sort of parent thinks that that's a bright idea. Jose, help me out here.
Fucking idiot is what he is.
Holy crap. Real quick, I do have to pick up the chat here. Let's see here. Vamp Sith says, I thought he flat out deleted them. I can still see notifications for privated stuff. It's insane. I actually went and clicked on the link for that while we were doing our research, and it says this video is private. It said that it's privated off.
Yeah, that's why I said I got a chance to watch it before he made it. Before he went and did that.
Yeah, and Jolene, to answer your question, yes, the child is 9 years old. He's a little boy, a little 9-year-old boy. He also happens to be autistic. Like, it's part of the brand that they're putting out. They're calling their brand the Autistic Tiger. Like, I don't know how fucking tone deaf that is. Like, that would be me, like, trying to host, but instead of hosting this with, like, a clever name, calling it the Black Files, like, let's just go ahead. Like, we're not the Black Files anymore. We're, Hispanic wankster geek boy talks shit for an hour and a half, starring Juan Arauz. Like, no, that's what it would be. No, fucking hell. Latinx or whatever. That'll piss off Louis Lecca, our buddy from Nerd Report. Yeah, no, he would. He's over in LA. He's also Hispanic. He does not like Latinx at all, and I can't help but agree with him on there. Also on the chat, Will and Brittany are saying hi to each other. She's making fun of his name, calling him Willard. Jolene's saying that, well, that's not very nice of him on both ends, exploiting his kid and being a douche. And Jolene's like, oh crap, burlesque. And Vamsith, well, there you go. We also have someone else on the chat. Eliza Plotnick is on the chat on the Black Files. Welcome to the Black Files. Thank you for joining us tonight. Is saying, when I was talking to the dad, he kept alternating between saying his son is 8 or 9. That's so sus. How the fuck do you not know how old your kid is?
That's your fucking child, you absolute... No. I feel sad for his wife and his child. Like, holy crap, man. I feel bad for both of them.
No. It gets worse. It gets so much fucking worse. Apparently, and I'm getting this information from one of the performers of Speakeasy Sirens that I actually got to speak to, just shooting the breeze, and they filled me in on this. And so I'm just going to say hi to them, not going to name them. I know they have a bunch of different aliases, but I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Point is, they're basically saying that the father was the one on Friday night who was throwing the massive fucking heart attack of a complaint over his kid not being allowed to watch the burlesque show. I'm like, dude, and worst of all, the guy was even saying that people were being ableist and that they were discriminating against the child because he's autistic. And this is so unfair. This is so rude. This is unbelievable. And Jolene, I did catch the Russian bot. Thank you for keeping your eyes on that for me. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, we it's odd. We've been getting Russian bots on the chat for a while, but we catch them. Thank you so much. No, fucking hell. Like, number one, I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to be discriminating against a child for being autistic at a convention. No. What they were discriminating against was the fact that it was an underage 9-year-old at an 18-plus event. Now, you can complain about the organization of the convention all you want. You can complain about how they should have really planned it better and had 18-plus panel stuff happen in a separate area. You could have that, and that would be a fair argument to make. But that's the fucking fair argument that you want to go on. Not, oh, you're fucking discriminating against me because you don't want my underage kid who is autistic to watch your titty tassel dances. And I'm saying titty tassel dances in an endearing way because, like I said, I'm friends with burlesque performers. I say that respectfully. But that's not the case. Like, nobody was fucking discriminating against your kid because he's autistic. No, motherfucker. They were trying to get you to be a fucking parent and get your kid out of the freaking room. Take him upstairs. Let him watch Cartoon Network or something. There's like SeaWorld and Universal Studios is down the road. Or take him to Disney Springs for dinner. Let him, have a cool meal out. If you're in Orlando and you've got all these tourist trap areas that you could use to entertain the child, once it starts getting to the later hours of the evening, you don't want him to continue being in his booth doing artwork as much as he may enjoy it to make yourself the fucking money for it. Fucking get him out of there. Motherfucker, like, please tell me I'm not taking crazy pills. Tell me, somebody.
Juan, you're actually speaking from the place of what a father would do for their child. Of what a father should do for their child.
Okay, like, this shit pisses me off to my core. What do
you think I feel? I'm fucking pissed off, and I don't often get pissed off here on the Black Files. It's usually you that gets pissed off, but this time I'm actually just as pissed off.
Yeah, no, seriously, okay, I don't advertise it on our programs. I don't advertise any of my personal life to any sort of horribly in deep cutting degree, but I'm a father as well. All right. I have a 12-year-old son. My wife and I, K-Storm, we raised him with Jose living with us. Our kid has got probably one of the luckiest setups in the world. He's an only child. And he's got 3 grown-ups watching his back. You know what I mean? And I love him to death. I know he's got passion for video games. He loves Monster Hunter video games. He loves the Kingdom Hearts video games. He loves Transformers. He loves playing Legos. He loves playing. He loves watching movies and anime. He
likes Pokemon.
What's up?
He likes Pokemon.
Yeah, he loves Pokemon. He fucking loves Pokemon to death. If I could trust him with a smartphone, not to go banana balls on the internet or anything, I'd get him one just so he can go out, have some exercise, and play Pokemon Go. I would do that in a heartbeat. But now's not the time for that stuff because he's still developing, and I don't have that kind of money on me right now for another phone line. That's not the point. The point is, I'm coming at this from a perspective of another parent. I would not think for one instant, especially if my child was autistic like Autistic Tiger is, to think to use my kid for monetary gain. Not once. Now, if it's something that this kid is good at, is something that they have a passion or an aptitude for, of course you want to encourage that. Of course you would want to try and show as many people as possible what your kid's capable of and what they can do, and you want everyone to see just how incredible they are. That is never the wrong thing to do. The problem is with a child with any sort of like I was going to say if you know for a fact that your child happens to be on the spectrum, or if they happen to have any sort of learning disability or any sort of cognitive or social interaction a deficit or anything like that, which from the information and from the videos and the stuff that this kid's father is putting out, clearly this child's on the spectrum, clearly this child is autistic. They are not making any they're not being shy about this stuff at all. The fact of the matter is, when it comes to something like that, you want to be extremely careful. You don't want to be exploitative. You don't want to try and come off like you're just shoving your kid's face in front of a camera for money. Like, there have been so many different little issues that happen with that stuff, involving children on social media, whether they're being coached or they're being exploited without understanding. And especially like in Autistic Tiger's case, that is what the situation revolving around him and revolving around his father, who's the main perpetrator in this fucking situation, is showing. You don't want to come off with that, because that's where all these fucking red flags come up. I do have to get to the chat. Let me see here. Let me see. Yeah, they were talking about the Russian bots. Give me a minute. I'm checking out the rest of this.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to come back to you, Jose.
No. You're fine. You're fine. And obviously, I agree with the decisions that the staff of the folks at Speakeasy Sirens had to do, and even the staff. It's simple. It's common sense. It's an 18+ event. The kid is under 18, therefore he cannot be there. Period.
Exactly. Yeah, it's that simple. Let me see here real quick. Jolene says, I always consider myself open about sex when it came to my kids, but that's a bit much. Yeah, no, it's fucking crazy. Russian bots just means you're starting to get noticed. Heart emoji. Thank you, Vamsmith. Word Vamsmith by Jolene. Jolene says, there's a time and place for that shit. If that father wanted to show his kid a burlesque show, then show him on the computer. Haha. That's just uncomfortable for the performers as well. Just ignorant and creepy of that father, according to Jolene. Lady Baron is on the chat. Hi, Lady Baron. Thank you for joining in tonight on the Black Files, saying what's wrong with this guy? He needs to be a reasonable parent. Yeah, he does. Unfortunately, not.
Yes, he does. And you know what? To the surprise of absolutely no one, on the video that I saw, during that video, he even he tried to play innocent on the whole incident with Speakeasy Sirens. He referred to it as a XXX event, or an X-rated event, instead of an 18+ event. And he tried to defend himself, saying oh, but my son is autistic. It's exactly everything that you just said. He basically tried to blame them for discriminating him because he is autistic.
The shit, it's not a XXX of a dude. Does he not know the difference between what an 18+ performance and what XXX means? XXX means porn. XXX means actual intercourse, actual penis and vaginas, actual sexual contact. There was no penises entering vaginas. There were no vaginas interacting with penises or other vaginas. There were no penises and penises going touching on each other. No, that's not what fucking burlesque is. This motherfucker.
This fucker is the same guy that can't tell if his son is 8 or 9 years old. Think about that.
Yeah, no, good point. Good fucking point. Real quick, I do have to get back into the chat because I didn't want to bring this up. Eliza Plotnick saying, I feel like his prerogative was continuing to make money/publicity throughout the evening by keeping his son on the convention floor and their vendor booth open. Fuck. No, there's a time and place for that. There's at that point when you start seeing that they're going to begin doing 18+ performances, that's when you clock out. You send the kid home. You send the kid up to the room, the hotel room, wherever they're at. Take the kid to a movie, whatever. That is not the fucking time for that shit. Oh my god. Brittany on the chat. If that were my child, I'd be pissed. Mr. Geek Me Out is on the chat as well. Hi, Mr. Geek Me Out. Thank you for joining us on the Black Files. He's asking, what do you... Thanks for the spoiler, by the way. I didn't know what happened on tonight's AEW Dynamite. What do you think of CM Punk's loss to MJF? Jolene said CM Punk is a wuss.
All right. I'll take this one, Juan. I'll take this one. I will be covering that tomorrow night on my program on Wrestle Rewind. So, Mr. Geek Me Out, if you want to tune in tomorrow night at 10 p.m., I will be talking about it. I will be covering AEW Dynamite as well as WWE NXT and Impact Wrestling. So, I don't want to answer it tonight, but if you want to know more, tune in tomorrow night. Juan, I just saved you.
Thank you for that, Jose, an excellent plug. Yes, Wrestle Rewind is where we'll talk about pro wrestling. So, Mr. Geek Me Out, tune in same time tomorrow night. That's when we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite, NXT, Impact Wrestling. We're going to talk about all three. Jose's obviously going to bring up the CM Punk MJF match. And Jolene, I must respectfully disagree with you. I don't believe CM Punk is a wuss. I believe CM Punk is a fucking inspiration. But that's just me. He's the motherfucker who recognized his self-worth. He basically said, like, what was the word he said to Triple H? I don't need to wrestle you. You need to wrestle me.
Exactly.
Yep. So, yeah, no, that's the guy who recognized his self-worth and went 7 years into the desert. And then when AEW asked him to come on, like, yeah, go ahead, sign me up. Give me the money. I'll come in. And the best in the world is back. Cool. That's my opinion on CM Punk. Brittany saying truth, Jolene, about the situation with the child. Or, I don't know, maybe they're talking about CM Punk being a wuss. I don't know. Also, Jolene saying, burlesque is a sexy show. To me, it's better than porn. Sorry, I'm rambling. I'm opinionated. Ramble on, Jolene. Go right ahead. Vampsith, no one's going to spend money in that situation anyway. Yeah, no, at that point, when there's a big show happening, or rather a highly publicized show happening at that point in the evening, you could consider yourself checked out for the night. Like, many years ago, in the far off and distant land of 2012, I helped K-Storm run a custom jewelry booth at a convention. But business dried the fuck up when one of the big the big formal ball events that happened Friday and Saturday night went on because no one was going into the dealer's room for anything. They were all going in for the big dance, for the big show. Yeah. So this guy who clearly is trying to make a buck off his kid doesn't know the first thing about marketing or reading a room, for that matter. Lady Baron saying that's not excuse for his child being being autistic. Yeah, exactly. The child has no bearing on the child's autism or lack thereof has no bearing on the issue. The fact of the matter is the child is underage. It's a child. He's under 18, and there's going to be performers doing performances of an 18-plus variety. Get the kid the fuck out. Sprechen Sie English? The hell? Jolene, my thoughts on CM Punk have nothing to do with wrestling, but he bitched out on Ghost Adventures. Lamau. Ha. Okay. Okay, now that's fair. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Now, obviously, more stories about this guy is going to pop up. Not the kid, but the adult. But more stories are going to be popping up. Like
exactly. Remember, we're not bashing the child in any capacity.
No,
this
we're not.
Really
we're
has
not
very little to do with the child.
We're not bashing the child. And you saw the thread on Harris Cosplay when he shared that video. You saw all the comments.
I'm afraid
all the
I
different stories of their interactions with him. And the general consensus is, yeah, he is a fucking creepy, negative piece of shit.
He's a douchebag. The guy's
he's an absolute douchebag, and he's a poor fucking example of a father.
Not even joking. Not even a joke over here. I just need a minute over here with something.
Yeah, no. And I wanted to bring this up specifically because it needs to be known. And to everybody, not just here in Florida, but I don't know if these guys travel outside of Florida, but like anybody, it needs to be brought to the attention that there is a guy who is exploiting their child just to make money off of them.
Yeah, no, it's that
and
simple.
This guy does that, and he does this without any second thoughts. He does this without remorse. Like, he doesn't. It's just, it's scum. It's absolute fucking scum.
It really is. It's fucking ridiculous here. I'm actually pulling up on the. I'm actually going ahead and I'm pulling up the thread from Harris Cosplay. I'm going to read to you in quotation over here. This is disgusting, and I do not support this, and am embarrassed to have associated with this disrespectful person. I have blocked him on all my social media. I wish no ill will to his wife and son. He uses his son for profit and has been talking crap about everyone. I hope they don't do any shows around here. The show was not X-rated, and it was stated that it was 18-plus day on the day. There is a lot that this man did that was out of line, and I hope it gets served papers. Yeah. Also, real quick, on the chat over here, Jolene back saying, also, I'll give you that on Punk in the Ring. I haven't watched wrestling since Jeff Hardy had his first meltdown, sadly. I love the Hardy Boys. I know I'm dating myself, lol. Yeah, no, you're right. No, the Hardy Boys are awesome, and Jeff Hardy's breakdowns were pretty bad. Vampsith, hey, not to sidetrack, but Harris was so patient with the Tiger King in that video. You could tell he was making Brian uncomfortable, but he was super nice despite that. Brian was super nice, I mean. Yeah,
okay, clearly the comments are not focused around the subject, so we could just move on.
No, they're saying that it's they're focusing on this and saying that Brian Harris, Harris Cosplay, that he was super nice and he was super chill when that was happening. And Brittany saying some parents do use their children for money. This could be a very negative impact on his child. Yeah, that's the concern that we're having over here. And we're not saying this shit to browbeat anybody into a point on this, but the fact of the matter is, yes, you're going to have, like, the first thing that comes to mind for me in terms of a kid who isn't fully aware of what they're being directed to do, being made to do shit clearly for money. The first thing that comes to mind to me was Lil Tay. Do you remember that? Do you remember that little girl, Lil Tay?
Yes.
You remember? Okay, yeah. For social media influencer 101, very quick recap, very quick short Cliff Notes version, abridged version, if you will. Lil Tay was a little girl who was brought in by her older brother to do different, like, who had a social media account where she talked about being a baller, where she talked about flexing and had dollar bills and acted gangsta as hell, and how she was super intelligent, but she was also like hood and gangsta, and she was always in front of like these big mega mansions and had like Lambos and like expensive cars and Ferraris and shit. And she picked fights with people on social media, like another real friggin' gem, Bad Baby, the Cash Me Outside girl who became a rapper, who apparently isn't horrible according to folks, but that's their opinion, not mine. And when the story behind the scenes of Lil Tay came out, where it turned out like, okay, the girl was being coached by her brother and by their mom to do this shit, and that their mother was actually a real estate agent, and they used like the rich houses that her realty agency that she was working for were trying to sell, and they were using it for the purposes of these videos. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Whoa Vicky. Yeah, those are all like real fucking gems of human beings right there. But like, Lil Tay was just a child at the time. She's like, I'm only 8 years old. I'm already flexing. I'm like a multi-millionaire, motherfuckers. And she was directed to swear and act gangsta and hood in her fucking verbiage and shit. And they had her like fanning fucking dollar bills all over the fucking place. It was a fucking wreck, but she was being coached by that shit by her parent, by her mother, and by her brother. And she was being directed to do that stuff because the Instagram views, the fucking views on social media about her, the money from all of that was just fucking racking up. And she was a fucking little girl. She doesn't know what the hell like half of the stuff she was saying meant. And she was actually like, they found a video of her like actually breaking down and being nervous because she wasn't getting her lines right, and she wasn't getting getting like hood enough for her brothers. Like, come on, you got to get this shit right. What the fuck? She's like, I'm trying. She was like having an actual breakdown on camera. They had a cool off for a minute and then come back and I'm gonna say motherfucker. Yeah, it was a fucking wreck, and I'm just like, this poor kid, Autistic Tiger, is like one bad TikTok away from that shit.
Yeah.
But you know for a fact, I know, and I'm pretty sure you can agree with me on this, is that you know for a fucking fact that the moment all this comes up around, because like we've got folks watching tonight, people are interested in this subject, people want to discuss this, people actually want this brought up because of how fucked up it is, and you better believe it's going to get back around to the father who runs the fucking social media and all this stuff. He's going to fucking try to spin all of this and say, oh, the Ravens flock are ableist. They're fucking discriminating against my kid because he's disabled, because he's autistic.
To see him try. I would love to see him try and retaliate with his own narrative and trying to paint us as the bad guys. This is not the first time that anyone has done this. This will not be the last time. I would love to see him try to come after us, because guess what? Bro, there are more people that know about his stinky shit to speak out against him. You know, the more people know, the more it becomes true.
This is what I want to ask folks, and this is what I want to fucking check out. Like, okay, when it comes to your branding and when it comes to how you're going to promote yourself, branding is everything when it comes to that stuff. Like the Ravens flock, that's a name that's evocative. It's obviously the Raven it's it's ominous, but it's a flock. It's us. We're a group. It's a team. And you folks watching tonight, you are part of the Ravens flock. We're the Ravens flock. It's meant to be like, okay, it's a community, and we're not angels. We're not little doves. We're ravens. We're out here being messengers of truth and knowledge and shit, right? That's yes. The idea you came up with all that. I'm paraphrasing.
That's what we're about.
Exactly. Like, tell me if any of these make sense in terms of what do you call it? In terms of branding over here, what sort of messaging this gives. I'm actually going to go ahead and read off the titles of these videos for Autistic Tiger on the channel here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, just off the top, very first one that says here, that's a YouTube short. Limited verbal 9-year-old autistic boy recites alphabet backwards. Limited verbal 9-year-old autistic boy. Let's see. Oh, that's the same one here. 8-year-old autistic savant demonstrates how to draw Mickey Mouse at Kabloom Arts Celebration, Florida. Let's see here. 9-year-old autistic savant draws the autistic tiger in the jungle. This is a fucking weird one. Magic Kingdom Marathon. How my daddy lost 50 pounds walking at Disney World. Like, really? You're going to make it about yourself,
really?
Motherfucker? Let's see here. Autistic boy accidentally steals Coke bottle at Disney World. 9-year-old autistic boy sings the duck song with puppets. Like, James Litwalk tattoos 9-year-old autistic artist. Like, it doesn't shy away from branding. A, we're talking about a child. B, he's either 8 or 9 years old, depending on what day of the week it is, according to his dad, who can't be bothered to remember, apparently. And C, like in big neon letters blinking, my kid is autistic. Tell me that's not fucking mental, please. Anyone on the chat, am I being mental? Am I reading too much into that?
No, you're not being mental. This guy is fucking parading around like he's making it very painfully obvious. He's reminding all of us, oh, he is autistic. Look at him do this. Look at him do that. Do this. Do that. Do this. Do that. Constantly exploiting him at every one of his video clips and in person, and his artist vendor tables. It's fucking what the hell.
I'm trying to control my temper on this. I really, really am. Just because, like, okay, there's ways to continue marketing that stuff, but at the same time, you don't need to push it into people's faces. Maybe he's using that in order to work on the algorithm or something. Maybe, I don't know, because the algorithm's fucking it's a freaking magic 8-ball you gotta shake in order to figure out properly. I can't tell. That's not for me to decide, but to an outside layman. Or better yet, in my case, to another parent whose job is it to try to help nurture and raise their kid and try to be respectful of their kids if they have any sort of like proclivities of their own, if they have their own thing. That's not how you fucking do it. Jesus Christ! Like, I'm literally at a loss for words. I can't fucking verbalize this any further. Jesus fucking Christ! Like, I'm gonna go to the chat real quick to try to chill out a little more. Brittany, some parents do use the children for potential money. Okay, we already did that. Lady Baron saying, I remember her. Oh, talking about Little Tay. Oh, geez, I remember her. Eliza Plotnick says the rich one who spouted little obscenities. Little Tay. Yep, Eliza and Whoa Vicky. Brittany saying poor girl, and Vamsith when we were talking about how this guy is going to try to clap back at us, saying absolutely he will. It'll be hilarious. Lady Baron saying this guy is fucking crazy. I'm trying not to lose my own head. Eliza Plotnick saying using a child's disability by parents in branding is so icky to me. Even by myself as a consenting adult, I wouldn't want to do that if I were autistic. Yeah, no fucking kidding. No fucking way. Like, okay, we're friends also with other groups here in the Ravens flock. Pardon me. Like another one is the non-visible nerds, NVN. They advocate for nerds in the convention community and nerds like the world over with non-visible disabilities such as autism. And like what do you call it? One person who's representative of them. They actually went ahead and gave me their take on this. They basically said, that obviously we want to understand that a child has some level of ownership of his actions, but in light of the fact that dad is a huge ass who's using his child, it seems, I don't think the kid knows how to be right. Yeah, no fucking way. No way, not a chance in hell. Like, obviously, like, at some point when the kid's older, like maybe a teenager or something, there's going to be more agency and more responsibility that would have to be allotted to a child as they're growing up, as they're maturing. However, with a child who's autistic and this specific form of autism here, that's another factor that you need to take into account. Jolene is over here saying, listen, my kid's an amazing artist. She's also an adult, but I would never have ever tried to use that to my gain. It's just gross. It's fucking disgusting is what it is.
It is. It's fucking criminal is what he's doing.
No, I don't know if there's any sort of criminality happening. I don't want to make any sort of insinuation. I'm not going to say explicitly that there's any sort of like
me saying.
No, you're using that. You're saying that hyperbolically, right? You're not saying that there's any sort of criminal activity happening in actuality.
No,
I hope not.
I'm not saying that there's actual criminal activity happening. I'm just fucking pissed off, Juan. Okay?
Yeah, no, I get you. You're pissed off. I'm pissed off too. Like, I'm just hoping that we're not accidentally stumbling into one of those. Actually, like, no, I don't want to. And then we.
No, I get it.
No, because the worst thing that could fucking happen would be like if there's any sort of situation where, like, and this is all hyperbolic. This is all hypothetical. I mean, that we're bringing up as a potential for the discussion of the scenario. If there was any sort of situation where there's some sort of like a domestic dispute or something happening and it gets uncovered and that's something that's going on and there is some sort of mistreatment being involved, either on the part of the mother or the father or both happening to the child or whatever, God forbid, ojalá, I hope not, I pray to God or whatever deity that's governs this misbegotten universe, whatever forces on there that govern this, I hope that there isn't anything actually wrong happening there. I hope that the child is being showered with love and showered with understanding and compassion. But the way this fucking guy parades his kids' autism around as if it was like the fucking iPad or whatever, I sincerely doubt that. But I don't think that it's gotten quite to that point. But God help him if it ever does, because I don't know what.
No, but he shouldn't be allowed back he shouldn't be allowed back in conventions. And I say this with a heavy heart because that also means that the wife and kid don't get to come along too.
Right, the kid doesn't get to meet people, and that's sad and everything because. Obviously children need interaction. Children need to need to have that nourishment of social activity with people of all different walks of life. And you get such a beautiful bouquet of batshitness in the con community. I say that endearingly, having been part of the con community since 2006 or 2007 myself. So,
but it would be difficult. But
actually,
it would be
2006.
But it would be difficult for the son to get that opportunity if the father is just creating it's just creating a bad reputation for himself, and at the same time, it's also hurting them.
Exactly. You don't want to fucking come off as an asshole to folks if your entire brand is a child-friendly thing like that. There, exactly. Also on the chat, Vampsith is saying allegedly. Yes, there's allegedly on here. Jolene saying speculation / assumption warning. So is anyone looking out for this kid? Is there bad shit going on at home? And never mind, you're talking about that now. Oops. Yeah, no, it's okay. You're fine though, Jolene. And Brittany saying my own son is autistic. I couldn't imagine. Yeah, no. Anyone with a right mind who's got a child with any sort of disability, be it physical, psychological, etc., you don't want to be fucking using that as a marketing ploy. That's fucking gross. Lady Baron was over here saying, and I hope you don't mind me reading this stuff off. Lady Baron is saying, I'm autistic. There's a guy I know that his parents do the same thing at the center, which helps and supports me. See what I mean? If you want to show your child's gifts, that's fine. That's one thing, and that's perfectly okay. As a parent, it's your duty to nourish your children and encourage them in any sort of endeavors and help guide them towards a future that would be fruitful and prosperous and with any sort of luck, also nourishing of the heart as well as keeping a roof over your head. But at the same time, don't fucking put it on as oh, I'm the kid with the disability fucking thing. I'm the kid who's autistic. Hey, look, it's an I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me thing. Fuck that is tone deaf. That is the worst kind of fucking marketing. Do you want to know what it reminds me of, Jose? In a small pro wrestling way.
What does it remind you of?
The wrestler by the name of Nick Dinsmore, better known through his time in the WWE as Eugene.
Oh God!
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do, and I regret it.
Yeah, it's so messed up because Nick Dinsmore was an excellent technical wrestler and he had excellent character on him. But when he came to World Wrestling Entertainment in the early 2000s, he was labeled as a very special young man. Read into that what you will. And basically it was coded that he was some sort of savant, some form of autistic, some form of social disability, some form mentally incapable, whatever. He was always coded for that. But his big thing was that he loved pro wrestling and he watched wrestling matches from when he was a child, and he had photographic eidetic memory for that. So when he would wrestle incredibly, and he would be really athletic and really great. But for him, he would make as if he was playing a little kid in kindergarten on the playground. Yay, this is fun. It's looking at the character at the time, it was interesting to watch, but looking back at it, it was such a fucked up move. It was such a fucked up gimmick to go by. It was not fucking.
It was tasteless. It was tasteless. Like at the point they made him into a bad guy character, like that's it. It was done.
Yeah, though they basically said like, okay, well, let's turn the sweet kid, like guy character who's like they're saying mentally challenged or whatever. Let's turn him into a bad guy. How? We're gonna have him lash out at the fans. Boo! Like, you're fucking kidding me. Like
that was
it,
stupid.
and then he was phased out, and then he was gone, and then no one remembers Nick Dinsmore for much else after that. Everyone just remembers him as, oh, you were that R slur guy on TV. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna fucking say it because I'm not that kind of guy. Jose's not gonna say it. We don't use that fucking word on the channel because there's.
But I will make a comment, and in comparison, just like how that's gonna follow Nick Dinsmore, like wherever he goes in his ventures, this behavior from this guy of the father of the autistic child, it's going to follow him, it's going to follow the son and their wife, it's going to follow the whole family no matter what con they go to, because fucking he's pissed, he's pissed off too many people. He has rubbed off too many people the wrong way. He has made too many people uncomfortable.
It gets worse, as it turns out, with this whole situation happening at VilliCon about the issue involving the burlesque show. Apparently, like one of the people from Speakeasy Sirens was apparently being harassed by the dad for the rest of the convention, and they were trying to get Speakeasy Sirens thrown out, and apparently this dad was going to. Apparently, they have a history of this. This dad had some sort of issue with Speakeasy Sirens in the past, and had been trying to get them thrown out of conventions before VilliCon. So this motherfucker, likely, like when you get that context in on this shit, that motherfucker was likely trying to use this entire ordeal of like, oh hey, my kid's still in here, and you're trying to throw him out. We're trying to use that as a fucking, like, I wanted to say false flag, but a fucking whole shebang for him to stage a problem with Speakeasy Sirens to try to get them thrown out of VilliCon. It's like, oh, they're being such horrible, lewd, XXX people having vaginas and penises on stage when my poor, sweet, innocent, autistic, big flashing like child is being exposed to them, and they're not letting him stay. They're being horrible and they're discriminating. How much you want to fucking bet?
So this guy has had a history with the Speakeasy Sirens for
How much you want to bet? Yeah, no, and in that
Based
same
on what you're telling me, I wouldn't rule out that possibility, Juan.
In that same thread, I hope they don't mind me fucking bringing this up over here, but Sarah Serenity was saying over here that this guy was also harassing her as well throughout the convention. I offered her an opportunity if she wanted to come on to the show. I don't know if she's home. I don't know if she's watching, but if Sarah Serenity is watching on the Black Files, then of course you're free to come on. You're free to see the program here while we're live, or you're free to watch us on the replay. Or better yet, if you're awake, if you're on, if you want to come on, I'm going to go ahead and put the Zoom link in the chat in a few minutes, Jose, because I want to start trying to bring this to a close. I want to see if anyone wants to come on and give their take.
Yeah, absolutely. Give their thoughts on this before we wwrap it up.
Yeah, exactly.
My goodness, but no, it's just, this is bad, and it's amazing how he's gotten away with still going to conventions. Well, I guess, I mean, it's not that surprising if you have I don't want to say angle, but like if you have some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Shoot. Help me out.
Okay, sorry. Like I was sort of spaced out.
God damn it, Juan.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. I would say that it's surprising, that it's amazing that he's managed to get this far into going to conventions without being outed the way he was recently. But then again, at the same time, it's not surprising if you have like some sort
if you
of
take into consideration. If you take into consideration the fact that he's using this wholesome, lovable, family-friendly brand veneer over this bullshit. Is that it, Joe?
yeah, there you go. That, yeah.
Real quick on the chat. Let me see here. Let's see. Give me a few moments. I'm actually going up. Jolene, but it wouldn't be something hurtful to be putting your 9-year-old to work and profiting off of them. Small World, that was my grandma's maiden name. I guess they were talking about Dinsmore. Eliza Plotnick saying, it's so sad that this kid doesn't have the good interactions with people who would otherwise support him because of his father's behavior. Lady Baron agrees with them. Vamsith is saying, can you guys talk a bit more about the dude's ego? Not sure if you saw his replies to the comments on the VilliCon video. And Eliza saying, finding those wholesome connections as a neurodivergent child is so critical to be mentally healthy in adolescence and as an adult. This kid doesn't get to have that. And Jolene saying talent. I don't know what Jolene.
Okay,
talent.
Okay, the one person that commented about the guy making a Viper. What's it? Yeah.
And Jolene was saying that he's got his son's talents to get him in the door. Exactly. The guy's trading off of his son's ability and his son's gifts and his son's talent to trade in for him having access and being a general dick to people for no fucking reason.
And making money.
Making money.
Fucking bastard. But no, the one comment that you read off of, she said that there were that the guy actually replied to some of the comments on his video.
Apparently, there were replies on the VilliCon video that he put up. I don't know if you got to see any of those in the comments on there about it. If you did, hit me up, please.
Yes, please let us know, because I only saw the video. I did not see the comments, however, because after I was done with the video, I closed it off. I didn't want to watch it again. Once was enough for me.
So, and basically the entire video was 25 minutes of this dude being a passive-aggressive douchebag, bashing other people.
Yes, 25 minutes of passive-aggressive douchebaggery from this guy. And it's just so goddamn fucking vindictive.
Like, where does he get off? What is this, like a power play for him? Is this is it just a means for, Jolene saying helping us look for the word, LOL. Yeah. We get that way. It's okay. It's part of how we work. We help fill in each other's sentences where we can. It's fucking, like, it's fucking wild how the hell people get away with being this much of an upfront dickhead to people and get away with it from, like, by continuing to be invited to conventions or going to convention on there. Like, the bit of it is that when it comes to getting a dealer's booth, like a vendor's booth, as long as you are able to provide the money to reserve a booth, most convention owners don't give two shits what your brand or what your thing is, as long as you paid your deposit and you show up and you generate money and you have your revenue and people show up for your thing. Because the convention got their slot filled, and that's that. I'm not saying that that's the case in VilliCon's case, because obviously, when it comes to handling a convention, they were clearly in their second year. They weren't obviously built up with too much experience in that. Otherwise, there would have been a cross section in the exhibition hall there. But the point of it is that there's got to be some level of accountability. Folks have to, like, be a little bit more selective when it comes to the folks they bring in as guests or as vendors to their events. I did go ahead and provide the Zoom link here for anyone who wants to jump in on the Black Files. It's in the chat. It is in the live chat right now. If you're watching on Twitch, I'll go ahead and provide that for you in a few minutes here. There you go. So anyone watching on Twitch can go ahead and jump in as well. Jolene saying Brittany and I are like that too. Haha. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See, it's all about teamwork. It's all about filling in each other's blank spaces, blank messages over here, right?
Yeah. No, definitely. Man, God Almighty, it's just fucking awful. Like, I really feel for the kid, man. Fucking, it's.
Exactly.
Simple fact, no child should ever be exploited by their parents for fame.
Yeah, for, like, cheap and easy fame and brownie points and money. Real quick, we have someone else on the chat. Mandy Albert is on the chat on the Black Files tonight. How you doing, Mandy? Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you coming in. Mandy saying, my heart goes out to this kid. My 13-year-old has autism and ADHD, and his dad left us a couple years ago and abandoned our son because he couldn't deal with our son's behaviors and told our son as much. I know this is a different situation, but my point is there are shitty parents out there, and it's so sad how these parents' actions affect these kids' lives so negatively. And they are so oblivious because the world revolves around them. And Jolene saying, we're so sorry to hear that, Mandy. Brittany saying, my Jolene, heart emojis. God almighty, that is hard. No, thank you for joining us tonight, Mandy. We appreciate that. And obviously, you've got my vote. You've got my sympathies here as well. God, no.
And mine too. I'm here too,
Yeah, no, of course. As like that goes without saying, you've got deep down in your blackened-eyed, hard-ass heart of yours, that you try to hide behind your circle-framed sunglasses of darkness and evil. There is a heart. There is a human being, and Jose Casabona does care about people. For God's sake.
care about people. I don't care about my enemies, though.
Well, yeah, no, but I wouldn't say this guy's an enemy. This guy's clearly he's an asshole. The guy's a fucking asshole. The guy's an asshole for the way he's using his kid for money.
If I were him, I wouldn't want me as my enemy.
Okay. Yeah, no, I get you, Jose. That's but it's still it's this fucking guy. Vampsith, I know there are some screenshots of his replies, but essentially it's him half-assedly trying to do damage control. We support VilliCon, but it was handled bad, I promise. In quotation, you can say that shit, and like I mentioned earlier, at the beginning of the show, you can make arguments about how the convention was handled. You can make those arguments about how the convention itself wasn't organized properly or how it wasn't structured properly. You can make those arguments all the livelong day, but you lose that fucking argument the moment you try to use your kid as a human shield, much less if you use an autistic kid as a fucking human shield. No fucking way. No fucking way. That's not how you treat children. Jolene over here saying, Mod Squad in the house. I dig watching you guys talk. That vibe is great, spicy, informative, and just really welcoming. Well, we try to be. We try to be. We're jerks. We're a-holes. Like I said, one of our nicknames, other than the motley crew of nerds, is we're three assholes in front of a camera. Yeah. No, we're literally we don't give a damn, but we have principles. We have fucking standards.
We have standards. We have morals. We know right from wrong.
Exactly.
And you don't need and not to sound blasphemous, and you don't need a Bible, nor do you need anything that you don't need I'm trying to come up with the right words to say here. All you need is to be educated by the right people.
You don't need a higher power kind of thing. I think that's what you're getting at, right, Joe?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, of course, some folks some folks are secular, some folks are religious in their reasoning, but I'm pretty sure everyone, Markiplier famously here had said very recently, the golden rule still applies, and people aren't following the golden rule anymore. That is, treat people the way you want to be treated. I always try my damnedest to hold people to a positive light until they prove otherwise. When I pass by the booth of Autistic Tiger, it's like, oh, this is cute. It's a little kid and he's drawing. There's his mommy. That's sweet. But fucking hearing the stories of this asshole dad who runs their whole operation, hearing how this kid is seeing the branding of how this kid's being put up, of how they're fucking doing this stuff. It soured that moment from being oh, this fucking sweet. Isn't it sweet? It's so cool. A little kid and he's not held down by being autistic. No, it's this motherfucker has got his kid and parading him around. Might as well have him as a marionette. Put little threads on his wrists and ankles. Go ahead and have him dance. That's basically what he's fucking doing with the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm not. And I'm speaking hyperbolically. I'm speaking metaphorically. Obviously, I'm not speaking literally. That would be fucking abusive if he really was doing that. But I don't know.
And I would be embarrassed. And I would be embarrassed if I were his wife. I mean, for goodness sake.
Yeah, fucking seriously? Are you kidding me? Well, unless she's in on this stuff too. Real quick, let me see one other thing on the chat. Let me see here. Jolie's saying, hey, I'm always seen as aggressive, so it's just refreshing. I appreciate the assholeness. Thank you. Thank you for appreciating our assholeness. And Gene Rick is on the chat. Hello, Gene Rick. Welcome to the Black Files. Thank you for joining in tonight. We appreciate you. He's saying A up on the chat. Vampsith, again, allegedly. Thank you, Vampsith. Thank you for helping us CMA or COA. Right, cover our asses. Thank you for that. I appreciate it because we're not saying that stuff is happening literally. Obviously, we're speaking figuratively about the marionette thing, but just the entire flavor of the situation's sour.
You're fine.
Not
You're
even
fine.
the fun sour, like little warheads. You know the sour warhead candies, which are fun. Because after the bit of sour wears off, it's sweet and tasty, hard candy at the end. No, it's the asshole sour. It's spoiled milk sour. It's fucking like raw chicken left out at room temperature for a day and a half sour. That's how fucking sour that was. Also, let's see here. Let's see, Jolene, I come across aggressive when it's a subject I know about, care about, and I'm passionate about. No regrets. Also saying hello to Gene. Elias saying, VilliCon wasn't perfect, but the fact that it had to suffer even further because of this makes me so angry. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
As it should for anyone that attended VilliCon and for anyone that tried to supported the convention.
Exactly. Not this freaking guy, this fucking asshole running Autistic Tiger saying, "Oh, we support the convention, but we think they could have been handled better." They're not like, dude, that's a backhanded compliment kind of bullshit. That is a Southern hospitality, like bless your heart fucking thing. Anyone who doesn't know, like anyone who's like not Southern or whatever, or not from the U.S., like in the South, that like if you want to sound sweet, but if you want to call someone fucking stupid to their face, but you don't want them to fucking catch on, you'll be like, oh, bless your heart. You're basically calling them fucking stupid to their face. Like, oh, bless you. You're so fucking stupid. You're so fucking dipshit. Yeah. Exactly. So like that's the thing. And Brittany, of course, you're a Southern. You know this, so you get the colloquialism. Gene Rick saying on last break saw Ravens Flock was live. So cool, awesome. Again, thank you for joining us here. Saying hello to Gene Rick. Jolene responding asshole sour. Well, yuck.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Juancho. I think we pretty much said everything that we needed to say. It's 11:30 right now. I think now would probably be a good time to wrap up, maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. Last call for anybody else on here who wants to jump in on the Zoom link on the Zoom chat here. I'll go ahead and what do you call it? I'll go ahead and I'll add the link one more time. On the chat, I'm gonna go ahead and see the rest of the discussion here. Brittany is talking about bless your heart, saying they're all talking to each other. Gene and Jolene and Brittany all saying hi to each other. We're all the big happy family of dorks and nerds and people who are concerned with this shit. Gene Rick is asking, are you demonetized? I can't super chat. That sucks. See, here's the thing. We have to be monetized to be demonetized to begin with, but you can help us with that.
We just broke 500 subscribers, man. If you could help us climb up to a number we need to get monetized, that would be awesome. And we will let you super chat all day long.
Exactly. In the meantime, however, I actually want to double check the link on this just to be safe. Yep. In the meantime, if they wish to, if anyone wants to actually make a donation to the Ravens Flock, if you want to purchase merchandise from us, we have our merch link in the description. But if you're looking to donate, we do have a Cash App. Cash App's is $the Ravens Flock. So hashtag the Ravens Flock. I went ahead and put the link on there. If you wanted to send money, you could send money that way. If you wanted to purchase any merchandise from the Ravens Flock over here, like I said, we have our Teespring store, teespring.com/store/the Ravens Flock. Give me a few moments over here so I can go ahead and add that link as well. because we are running a special on our merchandise right now to promote our road to 1K, to promote our quest to become monetized. That way we don't have to do this quite so heavily. We have our Teespring store, and we have our promo code, which is Road to 1K. If you want to use that and get 20% off of your purchase on whatever you got, we've got phone cases, shirts, tote bags, sweaters. We have leggings. Sarah DiArmond, who runs Voiceless Behind Bars, she's been a fan of the Ravens Flock. She's got Ravens Flock leggings. She came on last week. She was wearing a Ravens Flock sweater, and so she's a real sweetheart there. So if you wanted to go ahead and pick up merchandise from the Ravens Flock, you can do that. Every little bit helps. It helps support us. It helps us get into different things. We use any sort of profit or any sort of money that's sent in strictly for trying to either get new equipment for the Ravens Flock, or if we're going to a convention or an event, to try to help us pay to go to that. If we're going to a convention, if we need room for a hotel room, or I've been as part of the mod squad where there's a big plan with Popcorn Planet, Steph the Alter Nerd, Jody's Corner, and Nerd Report, where we're trying to go to Las Vegas, and I've been voluntold to come to Las Vegas with everyone, so help us get to Vegas too, I guess. So if you want to go ahead and help out that way, you're more than welcome to do that as well. On the chat, Gene Rick will be much better off work. Smiling tongue out emoji. Have to get back already. Ugh. Gene Rick saying thank you for clarifying, guys. Okay, thank you again, Gene Rick. And like I said, there's our promo code. There's our Cash App. To help support the Ravens Flock. And Jolene's asking, how do we help? Simple. This is how you can help out. Spread the word of the Ravens Flock. Let folks know to come subscribe to us. Not just because we're friends, and not just because you're interested in like hearing a-holes, but we're on a mission. We've been on YouTube for 10 years. Usually channels blow up to hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers on by now, and it's freaking crazy and it's wild, and they usually are monetized and usually have a business model and everything by then. But for some reason or another, the Ravens Flock, we're the redheaded stepchild, much like many other channels on YouTube.
We've just proven that there is another redheaded stepchild tonight. I think we've forfeited that title.
Oh no! Like we're a redheaded stepchild that you want to root for. No, this dude is a fucking asshole. No. Jolene saying, Juan, so I'll put you guys up on my socials. Should I just use a Ravens Flock YouTube link? You may use that YouTube link, youtube.com/the Ravens Flock. Yes. Go ahead and tell people on that, please. I'm begging you. I am asking very, very, very politely to please do so, because this is like I said, we're on a mission. We're here to help make what's our tagline today? We're here to make your voice.
We're here to make your voice our
mission. Exactly. Like that's what we're all about. And on the Black Files, it's even more pronounced, because we go into the harder topics. It's tough to be monetized when you talk about the hard news, about the hard topics in geek culture, but we do our best. And I appreciate all you guys. You're saying you're promoting us from now on. Don't worry, that pretty head. Thank you, Brittany. Vampsith saying, don't you mean a redheaded tiger? Ha. Yeah, no, I want to keep the name of Autistic Tiger explicitly to the child. This guy's just an asshole. Like his father's just an asshole. I'm not going to dignify the father with the name of the brand on there. So, but that's me. And Jolene saying, same. I'm going to start promoting you guys out y'all's what do you call it? I like y'all's content. Again, thank you, Jolene. Brittany, you deserve success. Juan, Jose, thank you again. Brandon Dominico on the chat. Thank you for joining us tonight, Brandon Dominico. Welcome to the Black Files. We're actually wrapping up, saying the dad from Autistic Tiger is a creep. I got horror stories. If you got horror stories, I'm going to go ahead and put the Zoom link up, or if you just want to talk about it in the chat very quickly, you can go ahead and do that. But we are actually starting to wrap up the show. I put the Zoom link up now. If you wish to join us, it's up to you. No pressure, no hard feelings or nothing. But if you want to come in now so we could discuss that real quick before we wrap, you can go ahead and do that. If not, you can put it in the chat and we'll be fine on here. And I appreciate that so much. Or if you, since we are going to begin wrapping up, you can go ahead and message us and we can follow up on this. Brandon's saying he ruined a convention. Yeah, no, he fucking kind of spoiled VilliCon for a lot of folks. And Brandon Domenico is actually going to be coming in. I'm going to go ahead and admit him into the program. You may come on if you wish. Waiting for it to come up. Connecting your audio. Brandon Domenico, you are live. Welcome to the Black Files. How are you tonight? Can you see and hear us?
Yeah. Can you see and hear me?
I can see and hear you loud and clear. Thank you for joining us. You said you've got stories about Autistic Tiger, specifically about the father who's a jerk. Give us as best rundown as you can.
I was a guest at a convention, and we made it very clear, 18 and up, day one of the convention. He had his kid in the vendor's room with him. Burlesque girls were going on to perform. He made a rant video slandering the convention, calling our burlesque performers X-rated Disney strippers.
Yeah, this was VilliCon. This is the same convention. We were there. We weren't there Friday when this was happening, but we were there the day after.
I was technically staff for the first 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just a nightmare. He approached me after that, cussed me out, yelled at me, demanded to speak to the convention owners and management, and he was a complete jerk. I have vendors that I'm in touch with that he was telling them what price point they should be selling their wares at, as well as just being an all-around creep. And the reason he threw his temper fit day one is because he couldn't stay in the room with his kid and hit on the burlesque girls and harass them. That was the whole reason for his temper tantrum.
You gotta be fucking... God almighty! Holy so he was trying to scam on the burlesque artist as well? I thought he was just being a freaking... I thought he was just being a freaking Karen about the whole thing. No, he was actively trying to hit on these guys. His wife is there. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh my God.
This is far worse.
Oh, believe me, I really don't want my name out there with it, but I'm going to proudly state, if you have been on Reddit stories from the con, you've probably seen my post about him.
I have not actually. Do us a favor. Do us a favor over here, Brandon, if you would. Whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, if you're following the Ravens flock, if you can send us the link to that Reddit thread, because we'll go ahead and keep our eyes on this, because my Juancho sense is tingling. I can't say Spidey sense. That's trademarked.
Brandon, I have a question here. As far as this guy is concerned, do we have a name? Do you know his name? Do we have a name on this guy?
Yes, please.
No, I do not. I just know him as Salty Man Carrot.
Salty
that
Man
sounds right.
That's
sounds
literally
right. Good
what
Lord.
I referred to him. And everyone that's commented on that thread, be it convention goers from other conventions, everybody that has reached out to me has a story about this guy and how uncomfortable he's made them, how much of just a raging douche he's been. And nobody wants him around at their conventions, at their functions. The other horror story that I have, and I'm wishing I had been recording to be able to get DCF involved in this, the child said he no longer wished to do art. And the parents told him he had no choice. They're exploiting their child.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
My wife is in on this.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. The child himself was saying aloud he didn't want to make art anymore. He didn't want to do it, and the parents were making him continue to do it?
Yep.
Oh my fucking God. Holy Lord, that's insane.
This is bad.
Holy crap.
The fact that the kid was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, and the parents were like, yeah, you don't got a choice. That's what upset me, is because of the fact that for the sake of the kid's sanity, let your kid be a kid. I understand, yeah, your kid's a decent artist for the age that they are, but don't go exploiting your child's talent and make them grow to hate what they do.
Exactly. For crying out loud, that's how you get like resentful child actors and shit. Like the fable of Michael Jackson, like right before a performance with the Jackson 5, like he was screaming and crying and backstage saying, "No, I don't want to. I hate it. I want to go home." And his father was being a dick about it. But the moment they went on, he was like bright shining and dancing along with his brothers at the same time. No, they're fucking children, man. They're kids. Let kids be kids. Sweet baby Jesus. Oh my God. I just have to comment on the chat over here real quick. Dark Lady Cosplay is joining us on the Black Files, saying that is so awful. Crossbones, skull emojis. Thank you for joining us, Dark Lady. You know, Kirichi, you're a friend of ours. I appreciate you. Want to actually get to hang out with you sometime. Jolene saying Salty Man Carrot. No, Salty Man Karen. Like a Karen, like a Karen. But yeah, Salty Man Carrot, that would be hysterical. Vampsith, wow, what a surprise. I can hear the eye roll in there. Mandy Albert, wow, Jolene, and that just sucks for his kid. Brittany, that's bullshit. Jolene saying, oh damn, that's not cool. Brandon, you just unloaded a can of worms here with us here with that revelation. I understand that this is just your one-on-one testimony. Obviously there's no like video, like you said, you wish you could have been recording there, but holy Lord Almighty.
The thing that irked me is, so the convention owners of VilliCon were absolute polite. They bent over backwards for him to try to remedy the situation in his temper tantrum. Like, I witnessed firsthand of them going out of their way to try to appease him. And all he did on day 2 was make that live stream video that is now private because it got traction on Reddit, 4chan, Twitter, and a bunch of other websites, literally smearing the living daylights out of him. He privated that video because he wanted to hide how much of a tool he is.
How much of a jerk he was being. Vampsith is asking if you can just paste the Reddit link here on the YouTube chat. If you're able to do that. If not, no worries. Jolene says this breaks my heart. Eliza, I heard the sexual harassment thing, but I didn't want to spread anything based on hearsay. Yeah, no, I get you. Like we're having discussions over here, and Eliza says she's read the Reddit post. Eliza, if you can actually share the Reddit post, if that's at all possible, we would appreciate that a lot, and I would appreciate it immensely. If you can go ahead and put that up on the chat here, and I'll repost it and put it in as a clickable link as well.
Because this guy has no place at conventions, especially with the fact that he's willing to go around and slander and bad name a convention after, and I've heard this from multiple conventions. Oh, we've gone out of our way to make sure, situations have been handled. VilliCon wasn't the first convention he's done this at.
It's not.
VilliCon vendors weren't the first vendors he's attacked over price point and what they should be selling their stuff for.
Really?
I have heard multiple over my dealings with him from the first VilliCon to the second VilliCon. One of my friends who is a cosplay guest who happens to be autistic, he straight up to her face called her an embarrassment to the autistic community.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
It took everything in me to hold myself back and not go off and start throwing hands, because my friend is an absolute sweetheart. She has never done anything to wrong anyone. She takes stuff like that very personal because of the fact that she believes that everyone in the autism community should have a voice, that everyone should have understanding, and to be told something like that just because she cosplays was heartbreaking to me to hear.
Oh my goodness. This fucking guy. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Like I cannot, I'm at a loss for words. I'm legitimately lost for fucking words right now, Brandon. This is insane. I'm like I mentioned earlier, I'm not any sort of medical expert in any way, shape, or form. I can't begin to tell anyone how they should be raising their kid. But I'm a parent as well, and I know that if it was me in those shoes, I wouldn't be putting my kid out like that. Not for a moment, especially not to the sleazy degree that this guy's going for. Holy shit.
So I have also heard from multiple sources and from his mouth as well that they pulled the kid out of school to go to conventions, art shows, everything to just basically showcase his work. So their child is not getting any form of an education at all.
Or rather, his education is suffering from this, yeah.
Out of school to be, right now, they're at Disney at the, I believe, art festival, Disney at Epcot, as a vendor. They should not be there. That kid should be in school, and the parents should be really, really, really questioning their logic, their sanity, and how they're treating their poor child.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Oh my God.
So if you go to the Disney Art Festival that is going on, I implore you, please, please, please go to guest services and complain about that vendor. Not that they deserve a complaint, but give a complaint out of concern for well-being of the child, and explain why you are making a complaint to have them removed from the art festival at Disney. Please, I implore you to do that. Because the more that gets taken away from the father as far as exploiting the child's gift and talents and time, the more they're going to realize they can't treat their child like that.
No, you're absolutely right. You are 100% right on that regard, Brandon. If anyone, I doubt many people who are at the art festival at Disney Epcot would be watching the Ravens flock. I doubt that would be happening. But if anyone who happens to be, by the will of the force, like I mentioned earlier, by some chance, if anyone's actually attending that, I would definitely agree with that. It's definitely some sort of positive action that can be taken. It would be a step in the right direction. I'm not out trying to sabotage any motherfuckers, because that's not the kind of person I am. But the way I see it, and I agree with you guys on here, this is exploitative of the child. Is clearly a case of child endangerment. It's clearly a case of a child's cognitive and personal physical well-being at risk for the sake of profit, for the sake of clout, for the sake of attention. And that's not worth it. Not one bit. So I agree with you on this, Brandon. I really do.
It's never, ever worth it to have a child put into spotlight and treated like they're less of a person because you control their art in that. That's not okay. I mean, trust me, I feel for the kid, because growing up, I was a theater kid. My family pushed me to learn instruments, audition for everything. I've been in TV pilots and that. You know what that gave me? Resent towards my family. I don't want to see this kid go through the same thing I went through growing up, because at the end of the day, you only get one family. So why hate them? Even though the father is a complete tool, you only get one family, and at the end of the day, you shouldn't be sitting there going, I hate my parents. Because at the end of the day, that kills a child mentally, emotionally. Children that usually grow up with those kind of parents end up seeking out relationships that remind them of home life growing up.
That never ends well, no matter what the situation is at that point. If you're just looking to recreate that like the original sense of fulfillment from the early days of that, without looking for any red flags in the relationship itself, yeah, no, fucking hell.
Creates psychological scarring that does things of that nature to a person as they grow. And I thank my lucky stars that I dodged that bullet, that I went, I got therapy for what I went through as a kid, but it doesn't excuse what the parents of Autistic Tiger are doing to him. It doesn't.
Not by a mile. Not by a country fucking mile. No, I absolutely agree, Brandon. I really do appreciate you coming on here. I really do appreciate you giving us your insight on this, Brandon. Thank you so much for that. I guess if you're part of the con community, and again, thank you for joining us and watching tonight. Go ahead, spread this video. If it's on the Reddit threads, we don't care. We don't mind. Let people know we're over here trying to talk about this stuff. Spread the word. If there are other folks who have horror stories about the father of Autistic Tiger, or if this is something else, that if there's any other situation that's similar to this that folks want to discuss, you're more than welcome to come to the Ravens Flock. You're more than welcome to discuss this. We'll help give you guys a platform. We'll help give you guys a mic and time to speak your piece on this stuff. I really do appreciate it very much. Thank you so much, Brandon.
Thank you so much for having me on, because, you know, this just needs to be out there for the safety of that poor child, because that kid is going to be, and I hate thinking this, one messed up kid for how the parents are, and just letting it just continue on this magnitude.
Agreed. I agree with you. Thank you so much for that. All right. We're going to go ahead and start wrapping up, Brandon. If you wanted to go ahead and drop from the call, you're free to do so. We're going to start wrapping up the program now. And like I said, if you've got that Reddit thread, if there's more information, go ahead and reach out to us. You can see all our social links in the description of the video below, and you can get in touch with us through any of the social medias from there. Okay.
I will be contacting you guys through Instagram and dropping the Reddit thread there.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it, Brandon. Thank you so much for that. All right.
No worries.
We'll see you later. You take
Sounds
care.
good.
All
You
right.
too.
Yeah. I'm actually glad we had him on board, but man, it's just, God damn, it's just really, and it's at the tail end of the episode that we're hearing more of this. Like, the kid is given no choice. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no kidding. Now that we actually, like, he had a closer eyewitness account on this shit, and that just boils my fucking nerves even further. Okay, yeah, no, we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping up over here. I'm just gonna read off the last. I'm gonna read the last of the chat over here just to get on this. Let's see here. Eliza said, I read the Reddit post. Let's see. Mandy Albert. Oh my God, that's horrible. Eliza, it's creative burnout. I'm on it. I believe this is it. Vamp's been saying, Brandon speaking truth. Mandy, it has a huge effect on mental well-being. Jolene asking, if he's out of school, couldn't someone look into it? Yeah, no kidding. That's why, like, DCF is actually, that's an issue that needs to be discussed. And Eliza, it's not a surprise based on Disney's exploitation of child talent, but that's so scummy of Disney to not look into this. I really doubt that the folks at Disney Epcot organizing the art festival screened stuff for shit like that. And Eliza's asking, because isn't truancy illegal in the U.S.? Actually, that's a good question. I'm going to look that up right now. Laws.
Yeah, and as far as the stories goes, obviously we're gonna keep our ears to the ground, and we're gonna keep following up and see what happens.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we are going to keep our ears to the ground and continue to continue to keep an eye on this. It says it's not it's saying here no, truancy is any intentional, unjustified, unauthorized, or illegal absence from compulsory education. It could be. And yeah, and she's saying, Jolene is saying it is, Eliza. It is illegal in the U.S. And let's see, because let alone immoral. Yeah, no, like, morality clearly doesn't ring any bells to this fucking guy at all. Because if he was any sort of moral to begin with, then he wouldn't be fucking doing this shit, would he? Wouldn't be doing this shit to his child. Holy God Almighty.
Yeah. All right. Are there any more comments to read off of before we go?
No, those are the last comments. But I did finally get the Reddit link from Brandon. I'm gonna go ahead and share the. Well, first off, give me 2 seconds. There's another bot that popped up. Okay. that stupid bot out of here. And flag. Okay, cool. All right, sorry, just doing some housekeeping on the chat over here. And
you're fine. You're fine. But yeah, folks, we're gonna go ahead and share the Reddit link right there in the comments so you guys can take a look at it. Obviously, we're gonna take a look at it and just see how long this goddamn thread is, and see the different stories that are behind it. And like we said, this is a story that we're obviously we're gonna continue to follow up on, because the one thing that's very important at all conventions is, the safety of all the attendees.
Precisely. I couldn't agree more. On that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. The last comment I'm going to read off tonight, Eliza saying, I was in a similar position as Brandon growing up, and my parents saw the terribleness in all of this and pulled me out of arts for monetary gain. Good. Yes, thank you. Good God, Eliza. Oh, my God. I am glad your parents got the hint. I appreciate that a lot. We're going to go ahead and start wrapping up. Thank you, folks, so much for tuning in tonight on this episode of The Black Files, the uncensored, uncompromising podcast of the Ravens Flock, hosted by myself, yours truly, Mr. Juan Arauz, occasionally joined by Jose Casabona and Angel Mendez. Jose, you already plugged Wrestle Rewind last night, but I'm going to go ahead and do our proper plugs. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget that this podcast is live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, simulcasting both on Twitch and YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell located on your screen, and if you're watching on the live chat, be sure to interact with us, because we will be discussing the conversation with you while we are live, and we invite you to tune in to us every single week. Until next time, continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Twitch.tv/TheRavensFlockOnline, and of course, remember to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell right here on our flagship platform, youtube.com/TheRavensFlock, humble home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and the Ravens Flock. Thank you all again for joining us tonight. For Jose Casabona and for all of you tuning in tonight, I'm Juan Arauz. This has been the Black Files, and we are